morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
It's a reminder for those of you who have your kids heading out to play sports. Perhaps some of your practices are starting tomorrow, and it is a good idea to have the following. Hydration. Make sure that the kids are hydrated before they head out. Sunscreen. It is going to be intense tomorrow. You heard it right there in our AccuWeather forecast, a high of 99. Welcome to Sports on a Sunday morning. That's just the dad and me. Just the dad and me talking as we get ready for – I've become a big youth sports dad. Quiet. I'm quiet in the seats. I don't say a whole lot. But, man, proud of my girls. My oldest, Erica, who's heading back to college in a couple of weeks, played sports high school sports for 4 years, and my daughter Audrey is getting after it in year 2 of what has been a fun run of high school sports. We got softball practice tomorrow, so looking forward to that. Speaking of that, we have a high school student in studio with us. Gibson Davis is here with his father, Kyle. Gibson is shadowing us today by way of PGA Reach and other great organizations that have brought him in here. We absolutely love having Gibson here. Speaking of the PGA, Mike Tucker, the head professional at Bellerive Country Club, will be with us in 8 minutes. We are 1 week away from the BMW Championship. Can't wait for that. We have a lot going on right now. A lot going on. Even though nationally this might be what people say is a dead time in sports because it's just baseball and the WNBA going on. By the way, did you see Sophie Cunningham get clotheslined yesterday? What are they? And they called a tech on Caitlin Clark for accidentally bumping into a ref. What's going on in the WNBA right now? Where's basketball? Can I just get back to watching basketball? Why does everything have to be a big to-do in that league? Can we just watch women's basketball? That'd be great. Okay. But we have a lot going on right now. And the BMW is going to be here next week. NASCAR playoffs will be here next month, 1 month away. So Daniel Suárez will be with us going on at 10:45 today, the NASCAR driver from Monterrey, Mexico. He is awesome. I can't wait for you to get to know Daniel. At 10:30, right between them, Katie Shields, her A10 champions many times over. They're going to be playing soccer this week against Alabama, opening up their schedule. So they're practicing and going right now. At 11:15, St. Louis City SC will be the topic as Mr. Soccer himself, Bill McDermott, will grace us with his presence. They have a huge story going on. Their best player has left for Hanover 96, and if you don't know that, you're going to know it now. Bill McDermott will talk about Marcel Hartl, who is in the process of moving to Germany. 11:30, Chaim Bloom, Cardinals president of baseball operations. Man, it was good to see Jordan Walker leave the yard yesterday. So good. But the Cardinals lost the game 8-6 to the Rockies. Chaim will tell us about what's going on with the team, but I most want to know about these prospects that they acquired at the trade deadline. Have you been watching what Chaim has done at the trade deadline over the last year and a half? I know technically that was John Mozeliak's trade deadline last year, but Chaim, I'm certain, had a hand in some of that. The Cardinals have done really well here at the deadline last 2 years in acquiring prospects, and they are building for the future. I've said this a million times, and Bernie Miklasz at 11:45 will back me up on this. Folks, there are no excuses in this game, period. This is big leagues. This team isn't all that like playoff ready, World Series ready. Can we all agree on that when we get all hot under the collar about this team? Let's just remember that this team played really well and really hard, and they continue to play hard, but I think they got a little ahead of themselves, or maybe we all got a little ahead of ourselves when it came to praising this team early in the year. And like I said from the beginning of the year, I wasn't expecting a ton out of this team. I disagreed with Vegas at the 69.5 wins. I thought they would sail over that, but I didn't think they would be more than a 500 team, and I kind of feel the same way. But we'll see. I mean, I love that they're fighting. The schedule kind of eases up in September. They're going to stay in the hunt, I'm sure, but let's not get too wound up about the Cardinals when we have to think a little bit more about how they're putting this team together for the next couple of years so they never have to go back to this again. I mean, when's the last time the Cardinals were a serious contender for the World Series? You have to go back pretty far, I think. With all respect to 22, I love that team. But that team took off when Albert Pujols joined them, and then in the second half had this unbelievable second half of the season. Really good team. I mean, Goldschmidt was an MVP, and Arenado was an MVP candidate, and they had good pitching, and they had a lot of pieces. But that team came together. So maybe I should mention them as a contender that fell to the Phillies in the playoffs. But really, how many times have they had a legitimate contender? That's what you want. That's what fans want. The Cardinals are going to be, I think, a legitimate contender for the World Series, but it's going to take a couple more years for all of these unbelievable prospects to develop down in the minors. So we'll talk about all that with Chaim Bloom and ask a few questions of him. We have some fans that want some answers, too. They want to see some of the younger players. They're like, I've already gotten a couple of texts and tweets. Where's Baez? Where's Bernal? They want to see them, so we'll ask Chaim about them coming up on the show. This is Sports on a Sunday morning. When we come back, we'll talk to Mike Tucker at Bellerive, Katie Shields, Daniel Suárez, Bill McDermott, Chaim Bloom, Bernie Miklasz, Pro Football Hall of Fame class enshrined yesterday. We have a lot to do, Sports on a Sunday morning, but before we take a break, let's hear from the broadcast booth and get the very latest on the Cardinals.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
Tough night at the ballpark last night for the Cardinals as they go down to the Colorado Rockies by a score of 8-6. The Redbirds couldn't do anything with Jake McCarthy as he now has 7 hits in the series. He was good last night, 2 home runs, and that was really the difference in the game because the Cardinals had their opportunities, stranding 12 runners over the course of the night. They just couldn't push a run across the plate at the right time. But there was good news because Jordan Walker, well, he had an opportunity to get off the schneid when it comes to home runs, and home run it was. As Bernardino comes to the plate, and Jordan turns on a pitch way back, get a new one out as Jordan Walker hits one way over the bullpen. All is forgiven. Jordan Walker's first home run since July 9th, and he didn't miss any of it. Final score, Cardinals lose 8-6. Back at it this afternoon. Cardinal baseball on the Cardinal Radio Network.
Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair is offering 50% off labor on qualifying projects. If you're seeing cracks, leaks, or sinking concrete around your home, don't wait. Let the Helitech experts identify the problem and provide proven solutions to protect your home and your investment. Call Helitech or visit helitechonline.com to schedule your free inspection today.
Heal your home with Helitech.
Hi, this is Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This is it. Make no mistake, this is your last chance to live in the beautiful Cotterville Trails. We have a wide variety of market-ready homes and several home sites on a cul-de-sac that back to common ground. Save over $58,000 plus special 4.75% financing on select homes for qualified buyers. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Plug-in Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 8th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Running a business shouldn't feel like a juggling act. One app for accounting, another for inventory, one more for sales, and somehow they never work together. Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated platform with all the business applications you need. CRM, inventory, accounting, marketing, and more. All working together seamlessly. Stop juggling software and get back to growing your business. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
See more bees, wasps, or hornets around your home? Carpenter bees can damage wood structures, and wasps and hornets often hide nests inside walls. Don't risk getting stung. Let Rottler Pest Solutions protect your home and family. Call Rottler today or visit rottler.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Presented in part by St. Luke's Hospital, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
We're going to talk to Mike Tucker, but I can't resist. We have comments coming in right and left on what I just said about the Cardinals' future. Daryl says, Tom, this is the team of the future. What's going to change? Weatherholt, Burleson, Wynn, Walker, Herrera, Liberatore, McGreevy, Palante, maybe Church and Jordan, all here for the long run. Why do you think this is still a rebuilding year? This is the team. No, it isn't, Daryl. No, it isn't. I mean, yeah, it's the 2026 team, but the team that's going to win the World Series is still in progress. I mean, Daryl, look at what they have right now, waiting in the wings. Have you seen Raniel Rodriguez? Have you seen him? He's a tremendous prospect that is going to be part of the future. Have you seen the pitchers? Liam Doyle, Tanner Franklin. I mean, I'll go right down the list. Have you seen Brandon Clark throwing 103 down in Jupiter a couple of weeks ago? Leo Bernal behind the plate for them. Have you seen this outfielder, Alexander Frias, not to mention Josiah Ragsdale, who's hitting bombs? They just acquired him. Have you seen Quinn Matthews pitch? Have you seen the guy who throws righty and lefty, Senja, pitch? Have you seen Joshua Baez hit tape measure home runs and eclipse 30 home runs while he's still a work in progress? I mean, you know, we could go right down the list. They are loaded with future prospects that are going to be part of this franchise for a long time. So, no, it's not. Mike Tucker is the present, and the BMW Championship is getting ready. In fact, they have the build-out ready. They have the volunteers, I'm sure, who've been informed as to what to do. They have ticket holders. They're ready to go. How are you, Mike Tucker at Bellerive Country Club?
Good morning, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It is great to talk to you, and I'm so excited about what's to come, the BMW Championship. And as you well know, it brings back a lot of memories for us who were there covering so many events, going back to a previous BMW Championship, going all the way back to the U.S. Senior Open and the PGA Seniors and the PGA Championship. It has been, and there are many others, an incredible run for Bellerive Country Club, and I'm sure it's exciting for you.
Oh, it's amazing. And, Tom, you know as well as anybody, the city and the community, St. Louis and the bi-state region and even the Midwest are such big sports fans. And, by the way, I'm one of those guys who has a vested interest in that Cardinals win total, so let's go Birds. But and I am excited about that. And that's the St. Louis fan is loyal. And as we see them show up for for, the Cards games, no matter what kind of, team we put on the field. And it's always, we've been very fortunate and very blessed to have such a great organization. And I can kind of relate that, take that to the championships that we've had in St. Louis, especially at Bellerive. It goes back to 1965, which that's the year I was born, so I don't remember a lot about it. But in 92, it changed. The world of St. Louis golf changed when the PGA Championship came to Bellerive, and it hit a home run in every metric you could possibly imagine, and that made St. Louis a viable market to bring more championships to us, with another PGA Championship, the Senior Championships, the Open, and the Senior PGA. And the BMW was, in 2008, was, by all accounts, if you talk to the Western Golf Association, who is the host association doing such great work for the Evans Scholarship Program, they loved it. They realized that, wow, St. Louis is a place to be, and they came back to us, and here we are just a week away from the circus, so to speak, being in town. And tickets are still available, by the way. Don't forget that. You can still buy a ticket today and be on the first tee in the first row behind your favorite players hitting their tee shots. So there are some things that are sold out, but we still have plenty of room for people to come out, and we encourage you to go grab your tickets and enjoy the spectacle that is the BMW Championship and the best players in the world coming back to St. Louis, and we can't be more excited.
I heard that Saturday is sold out, but that Sunday was getting close to a sellout, and there were still some available. But let's remember, Thursday and Friday are available, and there are practice rounds available, right, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. And BMWChampionship.com has all the information and the daily tickets. A few opportunities to get the upgraded tickets for those who want to get a little air conditioning and beverage and food and beverage opportunities are there as well. And like I said, you can literally buy a ticket today, even though you didn't buy them 3 or 4 months ago, and still get a great seat to watch the finest players. And I will say that the Western Golf Association, the WGA, and the PGA Tour, if you've been out to Bellerive in the last few weeks, the build-out is amazing. Even though the PGA Championship, a major championship, was spectacular, the energy and I will say, quite frankly, the investment that the tours made and the Western Golf Association to build venues for spectators, whether or not you're a corporate hospitality or a grounds ticket holder, you're going to get some great views of the golf course, some that we haven't seen before. And it's going to make it more comfortable for everybody. So it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a great party. Even if you're not a big golf fan, I encourage you to come out because you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible party. I remember in 2018, following Tiger Woods around is one of the great sports experiences of my life, and might not be matched when it comes to following greatness around for an extended period of time. But I remember in 92, you bring back memories. I was going into my senior year in high school and following around Freddie Couples. I mean, just being up close with these great players. And for this particular tournament, you don't have to look far because you're literally talking about the top 50 in the FedEx Cup standings. That is amazing.
Correct. And I encourage those golf fans out there who may have a favorite player to watch the Wyndham Championship today, when you're not, between innings of the Cardinal game, of course, but to watch and pull for your favorite players, because the championship, the Wyndham Championship, which is the final tour event before we get to the playoffs, the tournament within the tournament, those top 70 players move on to Memphis next week. Then we get the top 50 here. So if you have a player, I'm looking at the FedEx Cup, the point list right now, and a fellow like Jordan Spieth is still he's kind of on that bubble of getting to St. Louis. He's 54th right now. So if you have a player out there that you like, make sure pull for him to get in the top 50, because whoever gets here is going to be playing the best golf in the world at the time. And it's whoever you're going to find some new favorite fans or some new favorite players are going to emerge out of this, that, like you said, you may remember as a young person following somebody this in a couple weeks at Bellerive that's going to be your favorite player for the next 50 years of your life.
The proceeds from the BMW Championship, as Mike mentioned, will benefit the Evans Scholars Foundation, helping award full tuition and housing and college scholarships to deserving youth caddies. It's a wonderful program, and so know that your money is going to those very impressive young men and women. Mike, final thing, Bellerive Country Club. I say this all the time. Professional sports venues in St. Louis, Busch Stadium, Enterprise Center, Energizer Park, Worldwide Technology Raceway, the Dome at America Center. You can go right down the list. Bellerive Country Club is a professional sports venue, one of our proud stadiums, if you will, if you consider 18 different stadiums out there. What does the golf course look like? How's the condition? I was out there recently. It looked amazing to me.
Well, it's kind of you to say, and appreciate the words about Bellerive and the membership, and they embrace championship golf, and we're so fortunate that we are able to host and people that want to bring their championships here. The golf course, Tom, I've been there a long time, over 30 years, and Nick White and his agronomy team have the golf course. I'm not just saying this to try to butter people up, but it is the finest, most immaculate condition the golf course has ever been in, and I mean that sincerely. So it's going to be spectacular. The canvas looks amazing, and like I said, it's so exciting, and it's only a handful of days away.
It's going to look great on TV. Jim Nantz will be in the house. I know that. I may ask him if he wants to come on the show next week. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you so much for everything you do for us and for Bellerive and for St. Louis, and have an amazing tournament. I will see you next week.
We look forward to seeing everybody out there. Thanks, Tom. I really appreciate it.
Mike Tucker is the head golf professional at Bellerive Country Club. We will take a break. We come back. It's the head coach at St. Louis University. On the women's soccer side, Katie Shields, NASCAR driver Daniel Suárez, Bill McDermott, Mr. Soccer, Chaim Bloom, Bernie Miklasz, all on the show between now and noon on KMOX. Back after this.
Corey from Air Comfort Service? Why are you standing next to my AC?
I'm standing behind our work.
But it's 8 p.m. You're just going to stand behind my air conditioner?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you turn off the sprinkler then?
Absolutely. At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation, we take pride in our work. If you need a new air conditioner or HVAC system, you can trust we'll install the equipment correctly. Plus, for a limited time, qualify for rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. Premal Thacker.
So we're trying to actually educate our general surgeons if you're getting a hernia repair or a gallbladder out and a woman is done with childbearing, even if they don't have an elevated risk for the development of ovarian cancer, to really get those fallopian tubes out. So we're on a mission to try to prevent ovarian cancer.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Closeout season is heating up at Sidon Sugar Nobe Partners with sizzling hot summer savings on John Deere compact tractor packages. For a limited time, get $6,600 off the S&P price on a John Deere 5050E with a loader, plus 0% financing with zero down. Find compact tractor package savings at snpartners.com. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 8/31/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Presented in part by St. Luke's Hospital, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. We have Cardinal baseball coming your way at 12:20, and we'll have much coming up on that. Right now, we are joined by Katie Shields, the head coach of St. Louis University women's soccer, back on KMOX for another season. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great, Tom. Thanks for having me.
It's always great to have you on the show, and let's talk some soccer. In fact, let's talk openers. You're playing right away on Wednesday against Alabama, 7 o'clock at Herman Stadium. But I understand that last night you had yourself a little exhibition. Is that the case?
We did. We played a warm early exhibition against Missouri State in Springfield. It was a good matchup, scored a couple goals, learned a little bit about ourselves defensively. So excited to play for real on Wednesday.
What are you looking for in a game like that after you bring in some newcomers and you mix them with your returning players?
Yeah, I think we're starting to, in that, want to see where we are as a collective, but then also try out as many individuals as possible, try out some different player combinations. And of course, just play against somebody else, and kind of see where we are at this stage in the season, and then prepare ourselves. We know Wednesday night will be a whole notch up, so we're excited for that. Alabama was an NCAA tournament team last year. What are they bringing back? Yeah, they bring back a lot of talent, clearly a lot of experience. We finished 33 and 34 in the RPI last year, so pretty close teams. Obviously, they got the NCAA tournament opportunity. So I think it's a great way to open the season. These are games we know are important for our preparation for November, but also just to play, high quality competition at Herman Stadium. You were 14-4-2 overall, second in the A-10 regular season standings with a league record of 8-1-1. We know about your track record of success, but we know also about your high aspirations. I feel like in the soccer program, basketball program, and a number of athletic programs at SLU, these groups aim high, for as high as you possibly can go. We do. We don't put any ceiling on our limit or, the opportunity ahead of us. But especially with this team and this season, there's expectations, there's possibilities. I think there's great possibilities for the group ahead, but we're just trying to keep them day to day the next step in front of their face. And if we do that, we believe we'll be playing some really good soccer in November. 13 of your 25 players are from the greater St. Louis area. I'm going to repeat that for our listeners. Over half of your players are from St. Louis. What a point of pride that must be for SLU and for this local soccer scene. It is. I mean, we pride ourselves on being a place for St. Louis's best to come showcase themselves at the next level, to be the premier women's soccer program in St. Louis. And we're lucky. We have incredible developers of talent at the youth level that we've been able to have tremendous success. We've had 7 All-Americans in the last 8 years, and all 7 of them are St. Louis born. So we have a track record of outstanding St. Louisans in Billiken Blue, and this group is no different.
You have an excellent record at Herman Stadium. Describe the atmosphere for me when it is at its best at Herman, and the fans and the kids who come out to see you play.
Yeah, it's the best in college soccer because, again, we have so many women that take a ton of pride in wearing the St. Louis crest and the name across their chest. And then when the community comes out and supports, we've been in the top 25 in attendance the last 5 years, and it's truly a special environment. The crowd can be electric. The little girls can see themselves, so hopefully one day out on Herman Stadium playing. And it's a really cool full circle environment that we've been able to create.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Having been there and seen those games there, you have kids running around, having a good time, and they can see what that might look like for them. Katie Shields is with us, the head coach at St. Louis University. Just a couple more things left. I know I've asked you this before, but it's worth asking again. This is your 14th season at SLU. I know as well as anybody listening out there that you could have had your pick of other programs, that I'm certain that phone calls are made to you and to Chris May. Why do you remain in St. Louis in this position?
Yeah, and we're so fortunate. I think incredible institutional alignment from Dr. Fazer now as the university president through Chris May to the soccer programs. We have amazing support of women's soccer institutionally, as we talked about, within the community. And that's just not the case everywhere across the country. And like I mentioned, St. Louis is an incredible soccer town. So to be a women's soccer player at St. Louis University, you are a premier athlete. And that's not something we can find everywhere else in other programs. And then the last piece of it is we're also able, we think we can play elite top 25 championship level soccer, but do it with a soul and a culture that aligns with our institution. And it's not as transactional as you might find in other places or other leagues across the country.
Have you learned how to navigate the portal successfully here over the last couple of years?
Yeah, we always had success with transfers even before the portal. It's never going to be our main recruiting pipeline, but it's absolutely going to be a tool or a bucket that we dip into. We've got a few women currently in our current first 11 looking ahead to Alabama that are transfers, that are experienced, proven performers at the college level. But then we're also always going to be, high school recruits and developing them over their career. So for us, it's a bucket, and it's just a bucket we have to get right when we dip into it.
Kevin Kalish, 4th-ranked team in America. Josh Schertz, a team that everybody is buzzing about in America. Rebecca Tillett did well in the portal. She has some talent coming in. There is, and of course, there are many coaches around there. I mean, I could go Coach Knoyer over on the softball side, wherever you want. Miles over in baseball. I mean, it is. There's something I think that is collaborative among your group. I note that you recently, I didn't get to say hi to you at the party afterwards, but I note that you have this really great group of coaches that met recently to talk about the future of the program. There is something common among all of you that I think you share.
There is. It's a very humble group of coaches. It's also a pretty intellectual group. I think that the tone in a lot of ways is set by Josh Schertz and how collaborative he is, how humble he is, how he shines lights on all of our programs when he has opportunities. So his leadership is tremendous. And then obviously what Coach Kalish was able to do and the run they went on last year was magical and an inspiration for the rest of us to get into those same spots. So really enjoy the group that we get to work with on a daily basis and collaborate with. It is a great time to be in Billiken Athletics.
This Wednesday, 7 p.m., it's SLU and Alabama at Herman Stadium. Go to SLUBillikens.com and snag some tickets. They are incredibly valuable. I think that they are of great value for your money. A family outing at Herman Stadium is the way to go, and it'll be a lot of fun this week to see the Billikens take on Bama. Good luck to you, and thank you for joining us on KMOX.
Thanks so much, Tom. Roll Bills.
Thank you. Katie Shields, the head coach of the SLU women's soccer team. They're getting ready to play a big game on Wednesday. Let's get to our parlay of the day. It's sponsored by Circa Sports, sports betting the way it should be. I've already had 2 texts from my friends and listeners who are thankful that I mentioned the 69.5. Well, actually, one of them was Mike Tucker. I mean, he said it in the interview. Another one, a couple of friends have already texted in that they took the over on 69.5. I did not take part in that, but I told you in the beginning of the year to take over 69.5. I thought that was a ridiculous number. I mean, the Cardinals are going to get there, aren't they? That would have meant they lose, 93 games? Come on now. Now, I didn't think that they were going to be, a playoff contender or anything like that, but it's too late for you to capitalize on that. I will say again that I think if you're looking at a World Series champion, everyone's going to be talking about the Dodgers and the Yankees. Your pick should be the Brewers. I've said it for a while now. The Brewers are going to win the World Series. Parlay of the day sponsored by Circa Sports, sports betting the way it should be. Daniel Suárez next.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The wait is over. The displays are now open at the Reserve in West County, a prime location at Manchester and Highway 109. The Reserve is an outstanding community with serpentine streets, extensive trails, and our own neighborhood park with a pavilion, gazebos, playgrounds, and more. Come tour our popular Hamilton Ranch or our luxurious Turnberry story and a half. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. It's time to move up to McKelvey.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going a swing.
Ready to elevate your game? Join the MBA Sportscasters Forum on Tuesday, September 15th in St. Louis. Learn from Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and Hall of Famer John Rooney as they break down play-by-play, reporting, interviewing, and covering the game. Then cap off the day with the Cardinals versus Giants at Busch Stadium. Step into the booth, sharpen your skills. Go to KMOX.com/events for details and registration.
After a serious car crash, the bills start piling up fast, and the insurance company isn't looking out for you. That's why you need Cantor Injury Law in your corner. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com. Injured, you can count on Cantor.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Plumbers, today will be a good day. You will be profitable. Your clients will be nice. No one will stand over you and tell you how to fix the thing they actually hired you to fix. You will also feel at peace after switching to Progressive, America's #1 commercial auto insurer. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 commercial auto insurer from the NAIC's 2024 National Premium Data.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
I've noticed over the last 15 years, no, let's just say 10 years, how astronomical the prices to heat and cooler homes are for the equipment. Because there was a time when you would call me and it was affordable. If you have a house and you want air conditioning and you just want it to cool your house and you want to heat your house, I have a system that I made a special buy on that will do just that and save you money. Common sense will tell you if you just replace your old, and I'm talking 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-year-old system with a new system, you're going to save big dollars. If you're interested in that, call me. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. God bless.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning, presented in part by St. Luke's Hospital, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to KMOX. The Enjoy Illinois 300 is coming soon, September 13th at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And joining us in studio at KMOX is Daniel Suárez, the driver of the number 7 car from Spire Motorsports. And it's great to have you back in town. We were talking off the air last time you and I really hung out, and I've covered your races, but when we were in Fairmont City, and that was a great day. You told those kids you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I mean, honestly, since that day, I have really loved coming here so much to St. Louis, Worldwide Technology Raceway. To be quite honest with you, before that day, I didn't know that the Hispanic community was so big in this area, and it happens to be next door from the racetrack. So I felt like it was just a great opportunity, for me to connect with the community and share a little bit of my journey to get to this point, and to let the kids know that they're gonna have to work hard, right, to pursue whatever it is that they want to do in life. And as I mentioned to them that day, like I came here with nothing, without speaking English and anything. So if I was able to get to this point, they can definitely do it as well.
You are a NASCAR Cup veteran, 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, driving at this level. So having come to this track now several times, what has this particular experience been like in terms of driving at that track?
Yeah, here, this racetrack is just such a cool racetrack just because it's different than any other racetrack when it comes to the style. You have corner 1 and 2, which is super, super deep into the brakes kind of corner. You have to be very, very aggressive. You have options as well. You can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can run the top. You have several options. But this corner 1 and 2 is almost like a road course. It drives like super hard and deep, and then you're trying to have decent grip on exit. And then corner 3 and 4, it drives more like an oval. More flat, more New Hampshire style, flat, long corners. So it's impossible to be perfect in both. So you have to make a compromise, and that's what makes things very interesting here. So yeah, we as drivers, we love the racetrack. And obviously, as I was just talking to you a couple of minutes ago, I love coming here. The city is amazing, the community is very good, and the food amazing as well. We just had some great tacos 30 minutes ago in Fairmont. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a great place. I try not to talk about it too much on the air, how much of a secret that is. I don't want everyone taking my stuff, my food over there. You're from Monterrey, Mexico, and I know you're very proud of that, that you've been able to drive and represent your country.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's just every driver out there is unique and different and has had its own challenges to get to this point, right? And definitely my journey is probably the most different of all, coming from a different country and different language and completely different culture. And yes, obviously I'm very, very proud of that. But also at the same time, that's why it's important for me to be able to share this experience with others, to continue to, not just to make the sport more diverse, but also to inspire others to continue to pursue whatever it is that they want to do.
You won this year. You won the Coca-Cola 600. That was an emotional one for everybody. It was the first race after the passing of Kyle Busch. He was very important to the start of your career, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Busch is kind of like the Kobe Bryant from NASCAR. Like one of those drivers, athletes that he was just so successful, so good, so natural, talented, and for a lot of fans, he was kind of like the bad guy. You know, he was always kind of like the bad guy. But the reality is that he was such a good person. You know, back I got to met him for the very first time in 2014, and at the time, you know, for me, he was like a superhero. You know, I used to watch him on TV when I was in Mexico without speaking English. So, and then in 2015, I got to know him a little more, and then he started coaching me. I started calling him, you know, almost every week to ask him for advice, and he was always super open to help me. And he didn't have to do it. You know, he was just helping me because I asked him to help me. And I honestly felt like at first he felt bad for me. And then I started learning, I started getting better, and my very first win in the back then Xfinity Series, now O'Reilly Series, it came in Michigan, passing Cat Busch in the last lap. So it's funny, but he came to victory lane and he gave me a hug and he said, hey, no more calls. So him and I felt like we went through transitions, you know, relationship of over 10 years. He went through transitions from him being an idol to him being a mentor, to him being a teammate, to him being a competitor, and eventually in the process of all this, becoming a friend. So, you know, I cannot say this about many drivers in the Cup Series today, but we all were going to retire one day, and most likely, most of us were going to disconnect from everything. Kyle and I were going to be one of those guys that we were going to stay in touch because we just got along very well. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, the Coca-Cola 600 was very meaningful.
You remember how people make you feel, and certainly he made you feel like you belonged and certainly helped you through a lot of things. I personally really appreciated him. He won here and gave me a great interview in Victory Lane. I mean, when you win, you're in the best mood in the world.
Good mood, yeah.
You're on top of the world. But there was another time where they set up a Zoom with Kyle and me, and I was kind of in a rush because I was at an event, so I had to run out to the parking lot and get in my car. And this was right after he got in that fight with Stenhouse. So I was impressed he was even doing interviews at that point. And I ran out. I'm late, and I thought he's going to blow me off, you know. And I get on the Zoom, and he's just sitting there, smile on his face on the Zoom. He's like, hey, everything all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. You know, he was the one waiting on me, and he gave me this awesome interview, and it was very colorful and insightful. Like, he knew what I wanted to talk about, and it was really great. I mean, I think that maybe people just in general in sports need to understand that we're all human, and you know, we're all.
No, that's completely accurate. You know, he was a good person, a very, very good person, very good racing driver, very, very competitive, and very driven, and that's the combination of all these things is the reason why, you know, he's gonna be missed for a very, very long time. But listen, the way I look at it, man, is that legends live forever. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. He's gonna be here forever. His name is gonna be here forever. The hardest part is his family. You know, Samantha, Braxton, Lennox, you know, that's the tough part. But yeah, I mean, I have a good relationship with Samantha as well, with Kurt Busch. Actually, I was texting with him last night. And yeah, I hope that slowly, you know, the pain passes and we can continue to watch Braxton, because I believe that Braxton is going to be in the Cup Series one day very soon.
He's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know that. Daniel Suárez is with us. Just last thing, this is a playoff race. Tell me what the stakes are like at that moment, what fans can expect from the drivers, from the field, from the entire event.
Yeah, you know, as you race throughout the year, this is a marathon. You know, like this is it's a grind. You race and you race and you race. You have good days and sometimes you have bad ones as well, and you have to continue to move forward. And once you get into the playoffs, for the drivers that make the playoffs, which we're looking pretty good for that, it's almost like it's almost like you get a new life because you feel like you are now in a different field, and now you get to battle again, right? Mm-hmm. So there is a lot to fight in the next several weeks, but once we get into the playoffs, into the chase, it's almost like new life. I can guarantee you that everyone is going to be a little bit tired right before the chase, and then you get into a chase, whoever is in the chase, and it's almost like you recharge your batteries because you feel like there's a new task in front of you. So super excited to come here, Worldwide Technology Raceway, and hopefully we can have a good performance and hopefully get our first win in this amazing place.
Sunday, September 13th, of course, there's events happening all weekend long, music and festivities, all kinds of things, plus the O'Reilly race as well. There's a lot going on at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Daniel Suárez has joined us, and we can't wait for the Enjoy Illinois 300. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a quick break. Back on KMOX right after this.
John's Garage Doors, John's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you, and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
John's Garage Doors, John's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
It's not really a sports show. It's just a show.
So I don't really have a sports show, but I love the Cardinals. I am born and bred St. Louis, went to my first game like so many of you, 4 years old. Couldn't believe how green it was standing there next to the players with my dad, and now I go with my kids. You get it. So when you listen to the DGS, it's going to be a slice of life happy hour, but we're always going to talk Cardinals.
The Dave Glover Show at 1. Then stick around for Cardinals baseball.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
News Radio KMOX, the home of the Cardinals.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. 3 months to the midterms, and Democrats and Republicans are gearing up. The progressive Democrat who won Michigan's Senate primary, Abdul El Sayed, said he spoke with former President Barack Obama by phone. Another notable progressive, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, tells ABC's This Week that Democrats are all united under a big tent.
The Republican Party right now is jacking up prices, making housing impossible to afford. And we are focused on everything from health care to your grocery bill and making it more affordable for working people.
Iran could be a major issue in the midterms, and Iran's foreign minister says today that Iran's not going to have further negotiations with the U.S. over the Strait of Hormuz until the U.S. corrects its behavior. The interim director of ICE says that all ICE agents will be equipped with body-worn cameras by the end of the month. They have faced criticism after a series of deadly interactions. This is ABC News. A 5-month-old baby was killed along with a 27-year-old woman. They were two of 14 people who were on a boat that capsized in New York Harbor last night. 12 others were rescued. The cause is under investigation. In Chicago, families are demanding answers after dozens of decomposing bodies were found at a Southside funeral home earlier this week, says ABC's Eric Horng in Chicago.
Latasha Johnson recounting her mother's funeral at South Chicago Chapel as police arrived Thursday awaiting a warrant to search the property.
If that would have happened with them coming in, it wouldn't have been it would have been chaos.
Johnson describing a horrendous smell, which she says the funeral director's husband claimed was mildew.
He got Lysol. You spraying Lysol over there.
The news breaking hours later, the medical examiner reporting the discovery of 56 bodies stored improperly.
The license of one of the directors has been revoked. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
At 11:02, we have a sunny sky in downtown St. Louis. It's 83 degrees. We're in an extreme heat warning, and that's where we'll start the news with AccuWeather's forecasts.
Hot and steamy for the rest of today. Partly sunny, the high 93. Warm and humid tonight, mostly clear, low 75. Uncomfortably hot and humid tomorrow. Clouds and sun up to 99. Dangerous heat again on Tuesday. Clouds and sun, a thunderstorm in the area at the 98. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist John Feerick on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Use the proper precautions heading into the heat today and tomorrow, where we're expected, as he said, to crank up to 97. Youth practices are beginning for many this week for middle schools and high schools. Check the schedules to see if they end up moving those to earlier hours. We certainly have a Cardinals game today that will not get moved, so use the proper precautions there. A 1:15 start, 12:20 pregame. Hydrate before you go to Busch Stadium. This is heat not to be messed with a high today of 93, but it's going to feel like about 103 with the heat and humidity today. In the news today, as we continue to follow, our traffic is clear at the moment. We'll continue to watch that. We are still waiting for more information about a collision in Cahokia Heights that happened yesterday afternoon involving a fire truck and at least two other vehicles. St. Clair Emergency Management posted pictures of the scene on Route 3. Now let's get the latest from Maria Kina.
The fire truck overturned. A passenger vehicle and a pickup truck collided and then crossed over into the firefighters' lane, which was southbound on Route 3. It is not clear just how many people were injured or the extent of their injuries. Cahokia Heights Fire reported in a release that everyone involved was taken to the hospital for evaluation and treatment. No other information was available. The release went on to say no other comments would be made until the investigating agency ruled what happened. Illinois State Police is handling that investigation. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
And Ivy Lyons has more information on a hit and run that St. Louis police are investigating. A male pedestrian died and a female is critically injured after a car hit them and took off.
Police say a speeding pickup truck struck two pedestrians near Natural Bridge and North Grand Avenue. This was at around 10:30 Friday night before fleeing the scene. An adult man and woman were taken to the hospital. The man died several hours after that collision. Police say the woman remains in critical but stable condition. Investigators now believe the truck was heading south on North Grand when it struck the victims. This was near the west curb, just north of Natural Bridge. Anyone with information is asked to call District 4 detectives at 314-444-2500. Anonymous tips can be made through Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Ivy Lyons, KMOX News.
Again, we're in an extreme heat warning today, and dangerous heat and humidity has returned to St. Louis today through Wednesday. It's a high of 93 today with wind gusts up to 15 miles per hour. They won't help much with the bright sun and the humidity. Monday, 96 for the high, 95 on Tuesday. We do have a chance of showers Wednesday with a high of 94. Currently, we're looking at a hot afternoon ahead of us. It's 93 for the high, currently 83 in downtown St. Louis at 11:05.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Really good first hour with Mike Tucker of Bellerive Country Club laying it out for us. The BMW Championship will be the 18th to the 23rd. Next Tuesday is the practice round, beginning with the top 50 players in the FedEx Cup playoff standings for the BMW Championship at Bellerive. Wednesday practice round, and then it gets going Thursday with first round tee times, and they're all going to tee off on one. That makes it pretty fun for you. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Bellerive Country Club is those old feelings of the BMW Championship in 2008 and the PGA Championship in 2018. Both spectacular events at Bellerive Country Club, and we had a chance to talk to Mike Tucker about that. The SLU Women Open on Wednesday. They'll play Wednesday night against Alabama. The SLU women's soccer team, thought of as one of the best teams not only in the A-10 but in the country. And that's a 7 p.m. start at Herman Stadium. We talked to Katie Shields about it. And Daniel Suárez, another event coming, the Enjoy Illinois 300 NASCAR playoff race at Worldwide Technology Raceway on September 13th. Suárez is one of the best drivers in Cup racing right now. And Iowa is the spot for NASCAR Cup today, Iowa Speedway. As for this hour, we're going to talk to Bill McDermott, Mr. Soccer, about St. Louis City SC. They have lost Marcel Hartl to Germany. We'll discuss that transfer and how that took place. At 11:30, Chaim Bloom, he's had a few transfers on his plate over the last week. The Cardinals president of baseball operations. And at 11:45, it's Bernie Miklasz here on KMOX. The Cardinals lineup is out. They did one little tweak to it, just revised it for us, and Jordan Walker is the cleanup hitter playing right field today. He hit a bomb yesterday, finally got one. 23 home runs, 82 RBIs for Walker, hitting .283. J.J. Weatherholt will lead off and play second base. Ivan Herrera is batting second today. He's the DH. Alec Burleson's at first base batting third. Walker in right batting fourth. Jimmy Crooks is the catcher. He will be catching Michael McGreevy today. Crooks, the lefty, is batting fifth. Mason Wynn, sixth. Nathan Church in center field, seventh. Jose Fermin at third base, eighth. And Brian Torres is the left fielder today, batting ninth, as the Cardinals take on the Colorado Rockies and try to win a series against a Rockies team that got him yesterday. The righty Michael Lorenzen is the starting pitcher today. He's 3-10 with a 6.94 ERA. McGreevy checks in at 4-9, might be the best 4-9 pitcher in all of baseball, with a 3.59 ERA. Yesterday was, and I've been to this before with our very own Mike Claiborne and Ben Boyd. I remember it well, covering Marshall Faulk going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That was in 2011. When we drove to Canton and covered it for you. And all the greatest show, they were all there. And it was great to visit with them all. Deion Sanders threw a party with Marshall, and we got to visit with a lot of those players. It's just a shame that Torrey Holt's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't want to harp on this too much because I feel like I talk about it all the time. But for him not to be in the Hall is a real shame. And I sure hope that the voters get it right next time around, and that they just understand that you're talking about one of the best receivers in the history of the game. Someone who, at the time that he retired, was among the best at catching the football. So that should be understood that Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not really sure why that he keeps missing, but at some point you got to put him in. I'm very happy that finally Roger Craig went in. Roger Craig was the first running back to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in a season. He was a huge part of the 49ers with Montana and Rice and the bunch. Roger Craig kept that moving, kept the chains moving. He made great plays, running the football, catching the football. In fact, he opened the door for the dual threat running back. Marshall Faulk and Christian McCaffrey would be a couple of examples. As a matter of fact, only 3 players in the history of the NFL have 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in a season. They are Marshall Faulk, Christian McCaffrey, and Roger Craig, who did it first. Craig gave a speech yesterday. It was a pre-recorded video message. He will explain why that is in this address, in which he thanks his family.
The championships were special. The records were special, but they are my greatest blessing. Today, there's another chapter I want to share. I've been diagnosed with vascular dementia that my doctors believe may be related, at least in part, to the concussions I experienced during my career. The changes were gradual. At first, they were easy to dismiss as normal aging. Over time, my family noticed it too, and ultimately led us to seek answers from my doctor. 2 things can be true. Football gave me opportunities beyond anything I could imagine. It helped shape the man I became. At the same time, we know more today about brain health than when I played. And I hope sharing my story encourages people to pay attention to their health and seek help when something doesn't feel right. I want people to know this diagnosis doesn't define me. I am still Roger Craig. I am still a father, a husband, a teammate, a friend, and someone who loves this game and the people who brought it to my life. If sharing my story helps even one family or one former player, then it's worth it. Football gave me everything: opportunity, discipline, lifelong friends, and a platform to grow as a man. This honor belongs to my parents, who started it all. It belongs to my wife, Vanessa, my children and grandchildren, and it belongs to every coach, teammate, and fan who was a part of this journey. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this game, grateful for the people it brought into my life, and grateful I can stand before you today and call this journey a blessing. Thank you.
That is Roger Craig, his Hall of Fame speech pre-recorded in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement yesterday. The former running back spoke in that message while he sat on stage wearing his gold jacket. And while that is a sad moment to understand as he announced his diagnosis, I will say that while he was finishing that speech, the live camera caught him pointing at people, laughing, pumping his fist, pounding his chest. And as he said, I'm still Roger Craig. But it is pretty jarring to know that he says his doctors believe it may be related, at least in part, to the concussions he experienced during his playing career. We certainly loved watching Roger Craig as a player growing up. I just thought he was one of the all-time greats, and now he is among the all-time greats. His bust in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, wearing a gold jacket, and rightfully so. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Mr. Soccer, Bill McDermott, about the latest happenings with St. Louis City SC. I'm Tom Ackerman. We are so glad you're with us from the STL Sports Studio. We'll be right back.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
What? I talked about them earlier, Circa Sports. Circa Sports is a great sports app, first of all. You can find it on your app store or by visiting Circa, C-I-R-C-A, circasports.com today. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting. It's sports betting the way it should be. You know what it should be? It should be easy to use. You ever see these sites where it's like, what in the heck am I looking at? What does this mean? Circa Sports makes it very easy, exceptional customer service. That's the first thing that jumped out at me. Then they have high betting limits and player-friendly pricing as well. And whether you're looking for futures, we hear a lot of people looking for futures, or props on your favorite players and much more, Circa Sports has you covered. And oh, do they have sports. They have it all, from baseball to let's look at the calendar and see that football is upon us. Football is coming up real fast, and Circa Sports will be all over it. Circa Sports, sports betting the way it should be. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning, presented in part by St. Luke's Hospital, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 11:18. You know, a lot of people wanted me to do this story last week, but I said I just don't have enough concrete info on the Marcel Hartle thing. Marcel Hartle had been in what had been reported as advanced negotiations with a team in Germany. We do have multiple published reports now, including our own Tom Timmerman of the Post-Dispatch, saying that Marcel Hartle has been transferred to Hannover 96. That is of the 2nd Division in Germany, which is his home country. And there's been no official announcement yet. So we'll try to make some sense of this transfer and get some thought from Bill McDermott, Mr. Soccer himself, who follows the sport. St. Louis City SC is idle this weekend, Bill, but boy, they have not been slowing down at all. I mean, they have kept this unbeaten streak alive, and they look like they're moving themselves right into a playoff spot.
They are indeed, Tom, right in the throes of the playoff spot right now in 7th place. They have 26 points. Now, just right around them, to give you an idea how close this is, in the Western Conference, 6th place, Dallas, 27 points, one above them. 5th place, Real Salt Lake, they're right close by as well. And you saw what St. Louis City did last week against Real Salt Lake, which brings us to our topic. And I'll have to do a little dance around this, Tom, because sure. I know a little bit more about what has been reported, but I am sworn to secrecy, and it's all off the record. But what Tom said in this morning's Post-Dispatch seems to be accurate. As you just pointed out accurately, it has not been officially released and promoted the fact that this has indeed happened. But Hannover 96 in the Bundesliga 2, they are very actively trying to get back in the first Bundesliga. They were very close last year. They were 16, 12, and 6. They were 4th in the Bundesliga 2. And they think that in getting a player back into their country, like Marcel Hartl. Well, Marcel Hartl for St. Louis City over the last 3 years has been, pure and simple, the heart of the offense. 18 goals, 17 assists. And I referenced that Real Salt Lake game. He did not start in that game, the last game that St. Louis City played before the league's break. He came into the game, scored a goal right away. A ton of teams in this league, Tom, have possession of the ball in and around the penalty area. They just don't have the number 9. Now, I'm doubtlessly aware of the fact everybody is he doesn't wear number 9, but he has grown to be this team's striker. Anywhere close to the penalty area, he's very active with, and perhaps even more importantly, without the ball. He makes it easier for everybody to play. He seems to have developed a real nice relationship with Simon Betcher, because Simon likewise plays without the ball, and Hartl in the process will find him. But he has grown, Tom, into one of the top offensive products in this league to such an extent. And, I've been following the league since it started in 96, and I saw one team in particular, because I was very actively doing some of their games, the Columbus Crew. They had a player by the name of Guillermo Barros Schelotto, who's an Argentinian, not popular like Messi or Maradona, but to the people in Argentina he single-handedly won the 2008 MLS Cup for the Columbus Crew simply because he affected the outcome of every game. And lately, that's what Marcel Hartl's been doing for St. Louis City.
The report yesterday that Florian Plettenberg had, that the agreement had been reached and that the transfer fee was less than €1 million. Taylor Twellman quote tweeted that and said that Hartl and his family had a real need to go back home. And while it's not easy on both sides, it was a difficult spot for Corey Ray, but the right move in the end. As you said, it's hard to be able to report on this because it's not official yet, and there's still a lot of things that need to be said from both sides about it. But let me just ask from a fan perspective, whether it's Marcel Hartl or anybody for that matter, how do you, as a fan, or what do you think you would say to fans who question and say, I'm trying to get behind this team, and I love Hartl, and I bought his jersey, and all this stuff, and now he's gone? I mean, how do I handle that as a City fan?
And Tom, that is the obvious question that a lot of avid, devout fans are asking, because now they've gotten real close with a player like Marcel Hartl. That's a justifiable way to approach this. I would approach it by saying, Corey Ray, all right, you said we have to do what's right for the team. Let's do it right now. Let's get another impact player, another designated player of impact that's going to affect this team. Now, There are 2 new players joining this team, Tom, who just joined. Alexandru Matan, he's a Romanian, a midfielder. And I emphasize the fact that he's a midfielder because the next guy I'm going to mention is a designated player, Karl Hulse. He's a Danish midfielder. Now, these players have joined City, because they were going to link up with players like Marcel Hartl in particular and Simon Betcher along the way, because Simon seems to have worked his way into the first 11. But neither Matan or Hulse are number 9s. They're not strikers. So it is incumbent now on City to find another player, and I mean find another player quickly, who's going to answer the call and be similar to Marcel Hartl. Who that's going to be, I don't know. The City has always said through the years that we're not going to be a team like the recent Chicago Fire, who brought on Robert Lewandowski, like Vancouver, who brought on Thomas Muller, big, high-price players. But nonetheless, it is incumbent upon Corey Ray to find someone immediately to replace Marcel Hartl so that 22,000 people continue to come to St. Louis City games, simply because, and as we've always talked about this, Tom, on the show, not only does the home team have to win, they have to entertain as well. And that's what they've been doing lately, been playing much better than the last 2 years. And that's why we started our conversation by saying where they are. They're in 7th place and look to be definitely on an upward trend.
Yeah, and when I had Corey Ray on last week, he spoke very highly of Hulse and Matan, and did say, when I asked him, what are you trying to pursue? He said, we're going to continue to pursue. We want an attacker, an attacking type player. That maybe was a prelude to this Hartl move that had not been reported on or announced yet. So next up for City is, again, they have the week off this weekend, coming off that draw against Real Salt Lake. They're going to be trying to climb the ladder here. Final thing for you here, Bill, is that they play next at San Jose and then at Kansas City before returning home against Houston. Just evaluate August for us.
Well, for August, as you mentioned, Tom, at San Jose, a long trip, and they've been playing very well as of late, as is very typical of what Bruce Arena does with teams. He turns them around, because people like Brian McBride have always told me that there's one thing. There's many things that Bruce Arena did for the national team, but it was to build a solid, cohesive unit, all going in the same direction. Now, speaking of picking up players, they pick up Timo Werner from the Bundesliga, from Germany's national team, and he's going to help you. That's what, you know what, Tom, everybody talks about this. I've talked to coaches about this. We want a designated player. We want a solid player. We're not going to get a center back or a right back or a left back. We need a number 9. That sentence is uttered by every soccer team in the world. Everybody's looking for a solid number 9. So you finish August with Houston and Dallas, and then they have a difficult September to start off with, Tom, because they're playing at Vancouver and at Portland on artificial surface. They're not accustomed to playing on artificial surface, and against Vancouver, you will get all you want, because speaking of designated players, I mentioned they have Thomas Muller, Brian White, and Ryan Gall is back in the lineup for Vancouver. One of the absolute better left-footed players in the league. So they have the work cut out for them. Not only trying to get a solid DP as a number 9 to solidify the offense, to work alongside with some of the existing players, but to get Hulse and Matan, solid players, into the first 11.
Bill McDermott, we appreciate you. Thank you for taking our call and joining us today.
Thanks, Tom. Anytime. Talk to you soon.
You're the best. We'll talk some SLU with him down the road. This is KMOX. Chaim Bloom is next.
Industrial automation is complex, but navigating it doesn't have to be. Like a trusted trail guide, Graybar's automation specialists help organizations reduce uncertainty, mitigate risk, and plan their next steps. From evaluating existing systems to connecting you with trusted technologies and business partners, we help future-proof your automation so your team can operate with confidence, today and tomorrow. Yep, Graybar does that.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The wait is over. The displays are now open at the Reserve in West County, a prime location at Manchester and Highway 109. The Reserve is an outstanding community with serpentine streets, extensive trails, and our own neighborhood park with a pavilion, gazebos, playgrounds, and more. Come tour our popular Hamilton Ranch or our luxurious Turnberry story and a half. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. It's time to move up to McKelvey.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Give the gift of a magical experience at St. Louis Union Station when you take a real train ride journey to the North Pole aboard the Polar Express. Meet Santa and experience the magic of the Polar Express story with hot chocolate, treats, music, and sing-alongs. For those that truly believe in the spirit of Christmas, head down to St. Louis Union Station this year. Book your golden ticket before they sell out at STLPolarExpressRide.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning, presented in part by St. Luke's Hospital, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Back on the show, we welcome back Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, Chaim Bloom. A week ago at this time, we were interrupting his trade talks, I think. How are you, Chaim?
I'm doing okay. It all worked out. The call that I was on, I can now say that the call that I was on before you and I talked last Sunday was not one of the teams we ended up doing business with, so I don't think it had any material impact on our trade deadline.
Oh, okay. I remember asking you right out of the gate about the Skubal deal and if that had accelerated the pitching market, and your phone was blowing up. As it turned out, you ended up making all those deals, and you acquired some prospects who I would say all of them go right into a big-time pool of players that I think, and again, you're not big on rankings necessarily, but on the outside, they rank them very high. I mean, I believe from that standpoint, you feel like it was a successful Monday for you.
Yeah, we like those players a lot. That's obviously why we went out and acquired them, why we were intent on targeting them and holding out to make sure we got players like those. I think zooming out, it's never fun in a sense to be making those types of deals in that, first of all, the three guys that we moved, albeit one of them only spent a year here and another one spent his whole career here before being traded. Like that's we feel that. We feel that emotion, and obviously taking really good major league players out of your clubhouse is not something that you ever do without mixed feelings. But we felt strongly it was the right thing to do in our situation if we could bring in the types of players that we were able to, and we're happy with who we acquired.
I saw Ragsdale hit a tape measure shot and then hit another one, didn't he? And Frias obviously has a lot of power. Those two outfielders right there have a lot of promise right out of the gate. It's already been provided via video. You can see it, the evidence right in front of you if you're a Cardinals fan.
Yeah, these guys both have a lot of upside to be really good big league players. It's one of the cool things about being a fan now is that the second your team acquires somebody, even if it's an A-ball player, you can go on the internet and find some clips of that guy doing some cool things just because of how all the games are broadcast. And they've been able to do some cool things in the short time they've been wearing our uniform as well. Frias obviously very far away, 18 years old, first full season in the U.S., but he has met every challenge so far and really shows the upside to be a middle-of-the-order hitter and a pretty good outfielder at any of those three spots. Obviously, there's a long way from where he is now to that. That's part of the development process, and there's a lot of bumps in the road. But to acquire someone with that upside who is presently producing and meeting the challenges he's been tasked with is really exciting. And Ragsdale, a little older, a little further along in his journey, a college player who just has a really broad skill set, and he's coming into some power this year. He's always been able to hit. He's always had speed, been able to impact the game in the field, on the bases, and now he's starting to drive the ball. So it's a really well-rounded skill set there, too.
Egan looks like a major league pitcher in the making. He is a strikeout pitcher, and Santana sounds to me like he was someone that could jump right in pretty quickly in the bullpen. Is that true?
Yeah, it's funny. When we were going over him in the room, I made a joke, and it's just a joke because we don't skip steps. You know how I feel. No shortcuts. So it's like, if we get this guy, should we send him to Springfield or New York? Because the stuff from the left side is electric, and he has really taken off this year. He was actually someone we had our eye on a little bit when we were talking to the Diamondbacks this winter about Nolan Arenado, and obviously did not end up acquiring him in that deal, but kept tabs on him. And he actually had an even better year to this point than we were anticipating. His stuff grew over the course of the year, and the Diamondbacks AA affiliate plays in a really difficult place to pitch. That also plays into why Egan's stats are somewhat inflated, but he was dominant there, so it's exciting to have him on our side.
On that note, wanting to move players up fast, Gary asked on Twitter, with the 2027 season being a lockout possibility, he wanted to know why the team isn't giving players like Baez, Matthews, and Bernal more of a look, and then makes the comment that fans won't come back easy after the lockout, if at all. We want to see our young guys, he said. Just lay that out for us, if you would.
Yep, totally get it. Obviously, we're all hopeful that there's a better scenario on the horizon with respect to labor. We don't control it, but we're all hopeful that, it always gets contentious because everybody's going to stick up for their interests, but hopeful that a good path can be found so we can sustain the momentum that we have. We want to see them, too. We just want to make sure we're not skipping steps, we're not rushing guys, and that when they are here, they're ready to be here. I mean, you look at Quinn, what you saw in Toronto last weekend, that didn't just happen. That was the product of really 2 years of trying to figure a lot of things out at the AAA level, slow the game down enough to where we had the confidence to bring him up. It's easy to say, hey, you're a big leaguer, we brought you up. We can push a button and do that. But the question is, are you really ready to have success here? And if you're not, it can really set you back. And there's examples of that all over the industry. And, we've seen some examples of that here too. So, Quinn, whether it was big stuff in terms of delivery, in terms of his arsenal, even some of the little things in terms of varying holds, varying looks to be able to control the running game better, that takes work. And he put in a lot of the work and got to that point. Joshua is getting pretty close, and Leo's had an amazing year. Obviously, we know we are fortunate to have a lot of catchers. That's something that at some point we're going to be looking forward to, having that competition play out. But, I do think Quinn is going to be in our plans for the rest of this year. Obviously, with wanting to give Hunter that starting opportunity, we sent Quinn back down. But he is very much in our plans, and we're looking for opportunities to incorporate him and help take the load off of some of our other guys down the stretch. And obviously, Joshua, we've been talking about all summer. And the impressive thing about this young man is his maturity and just his work ethic and how he goes about his business. And his time's coming. And, I would say to our fans who want to see those kids that, we want to make sure we don't undercook them, but they're very much on our minds.
Another quick one. This is from Adam on X. Wanted to know if you had any update on Zach Thompson. He said, I haven't heard about Zach Thompson in years, it feels like.
He's still rehabbing down in Florida. I got to see him. I was there a little bit after the draft for a couple of days and got to see him. And he is off a mound at this point, but it's been slow going for him. Obviously, a tough couple of years for Zach, where we know it was really before my time here when I think the best of Zach Thompson at the big leagues, we saw it, and some serious velo, some serious stuff from the left side. So we're hopeful to be able to get him back to that. But it's been a tough road for him, rehabbing through various injuries.
Maybe a move that went under the radar because the trade deadline was so much talked about this past week is Everson Pereira. You claimed him off waivers. What did you see in the outfielder who was DFA'd by the White Sox?
Yeah, this for us was just being a little opportunistic, knowing that after the trade deadline, there's kind of a slew of players that can come available. And if you haven't moved them by the deadline, you have no choice but to put them on waivers. That obviously happened to us also at Tin Cans. We were lucky enough to be able to get him through. But with Everson, this is a guy who, a former top prospect who's bounced around, had some big league time with a few organizations and has flashed some of his ability, but never brought it consistently enough to be able to stick. And we wanted to give him a shot and give him some runway, just knowing that there is some swing and miss there. He does have some power, but he also has some defensive ability. And that from the right side is very helpful to us. He has some experience in center field, the ability to play it. And as we know, we obviously Churchy from the left side has done an amazing job defensively out there. And as far as a right-handed complement to him, we don't have that natural fit, right? Fermin has done it to some degree and has filled in admirably there. But obviously there are other positions on the field where we like to play him. So bringing in Everson and giving him a little bit of a chance to show what he can do, we'll obviously see how it plays out, right? We talked about somebody who's knocking on the door in AAA, who at some point we're going to need to make a spot for him, but we saw an opportunity to grab somebody with some upside and bring him in and give him a little bit of a look, and we wanted to seize that opportunity.
We see Michael McGreevy today. Last time we saw him, he went 4 1/3. He was pulled after 91 pitches, and the Cardinals ended up bashing home runs late in that game and beating the Yankees. How is McGreevy looking to you? And actually, if I can do a 2-for-1 here, what do we make of Matthew Liberatore right now after yesterday's outing?
Yeah, we can talk about yesterday. I mean, that was a tough one for Libby, and what's frustrating is that we have seen, obviously, on the whole, the year has been a struggle for him. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, or anybody listening to this doesn't know. It really has, and there's been different reasons for that. There's been some big things, some little things he's been trying to make adjustments on, and we have at points seen some success with that and seen him have some good outings, including the last start before this one. What's been frustrating is we can't seem to get him on a roll, right? Yesterday was tough. There were some pitch selection things I think, we can look into. Obviously the execution and leaving some pitches in the middle of the plate, and even some things in terms of controlling the running game, understanding Ivan, obviously controlling the running game from behind the plate is not his forte, but that means pitchers need to be on point in terms of, how they address that and how they pay attention to it. And the Rockies were obviously able to take advantage of some things there. So, the one thing you could say about Libby is he's incredibly thoughtful. He's incredibly hardworking. There is not a start that goes by, whether it's good, whether it's not good, that he doesn't digest, that he doesn't try to take things from, learn from, work on them. You will not outwork this guy, and the care factor is incredibly high. So, we're hopeful as we keep going forward here, we can find ways to bottle the things that he's doing in his successful starts and just bring those consistently. And pretty good segue to McGreevy, right? Because the consistency piece is what's impressive about him. Obviously, every starter through the course of the year is going to have some good ones, some bad ones, right? It's almost impossible not to have a couple duds somewhere in there. And he's no exception, but the approach and even the consistency of finding ways to execute, finding ways to use the best of whatever he has on that day. He's talked about it, right? There's been days where he's had better velocity, days where the velocity hasn't been there. And he has a lot of tools in that toolkit, and he's found a way to navigate lineups and keep us in ball games really consistently. It's a testament to his competitiveness, a testament to how he works, how he prepares. And just really cool to see, because that's really what you're looking for from a starting pitcher, and especially someone like him who's not going to overwhelm people with stuff. the consistency, the reliability, the execution has to be there. And any day it's a McGreevy day, you wake up feeling really good that it's going to be, and that's the mark of a good, consistent starting pitcher. He
throws the first pitch today at 1:15 on KMOX. Chaim Bloom, always appreciate your time on the radio station. We'll talk to you next week.
You bet. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Cardinals president of baseball operations with us. Bernie Miklasz is coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
St. Louis, are you ready to rock? AC/DC is bringing the Power Up Tour to the Dome at America's Center Tuesday, September 8th. Hear legendary hits like Back in Black, Thunderstruck, and Highway to Hell, performed live by one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Don't wait on tickets. They're still available at Ticketmaster.com. AC/DC, the Power Up Tour, Tuesday, September 8th. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
Locally owned and operated for 58 years under the same ownership, using their own professionally trained installation crews, trucks, and tools, 2 distribution warehouses, and a large showroom, an extensive showroom located in Chesterfield. Oh, I just gave it away. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. I was going to ask you, who you think I'm talking about? Of course I'm talking about Chesterfield Fence and Deck, with beautiful displays of fences, decks, pergolas, sunrooms, screen rooms, patios, and more in their showroom. That is where you get started, at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Are you thinking about a new fence, a new deck, maybe redo that patio or deck? It's time to do that. Let Chesterfield Fence and Deck do it for you. They're the best in the industry. The best. Custom sunrooms and screen rooms, too, if you want to go that route. Even retaining walls, they do those as well. All of their products are guaranteed by a 5-year labor warranty and comprehensive material warranties, the best exclusive warranties in the industry. An A-plus rating from the BBB. They are Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best. Mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll receive 20% off your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-FOURS. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Tom's Garage Doors. Tom's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you, and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
Tom's Garage Doors. Tom's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game. And now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference. Hey.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Presented in part by St. Luke's Hospital, St. Louis's #1 heart hospital. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Bernie Miklasz, thank you for your patience through that last break. How are you, pal?
I'm good, man. I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. You're sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, and we love them very much, and we love all of our sponsors, and thanks for being with us on Sports on a Sunday morning. I get 6.5 minutes with Bern. That's plenty of time. We can absolutely react to what you just heard from Chaim Bloom. What'd you think?
Well, you know, I actually put something on X about it, you know, and I said I'm being sincere about this. I'm not being a phony at all, because I have great respect for Chaim Bloom, appreciate the job he's done. But, you know, he talked about Libby being, you know, very thoughtful, a very hard worker. He cares deeply, wants to get better. And those are qualities, but this is Major League Baseball, and it's a performance-based industry at this level. And I know that a guy like Liberatore deserves a long look. It's not like, you know, when he was having problems after a quick start last year, he started to really have some problems. It's not, I'd be the last guy at that point to say, oh, pull the plug on him. Or, you know, even early on when he pitched well for a little bit and then he started getting hammered again, I wasn't one of the people just saying, I'll pull him from the rotation, pull him. Because I do believe a certain amount of patience is required, because this is his second full season as a starter. But that said, you know, over his last 42 starts in the big leagues, his ERA, there's 60 pitchers that have 200 innings over that time. 60 pitchers. He ranks 57th, 5.7 in ERA. He ranks 55th out of 60 in fielding independent ERA. He ranks dead last in the majors in wins, walks, and hits per inning. His home run rate is 54 out of 60. And in the 42 starts, he has been walloped for a 291 batting average, a 351 on base percentage, and a 482 slugging percentage. So, Tom, I throw it back to you. I mean, you know me, man, I'm a big believer in the numbers tell us about what's reality, you know? So where do you go with that if you're the Cardinals? That set of numbers, I wish they were great, but frankly, they're terrible. So where do you go with Liberatore?
Well, I told you where I would go, and I would send him to Memphis so he can be with, I'm not making a joke out of this. I mean, his best friend is down there, Nolan Gorman. They can work together, work their way out of this, go enjoy some Central barbecue and have a good time in Memphis and get yourself back to the big leagues. But they're not going to do it. I mean, I've already talked to him about it, and Ollie already told us they're not doing that. So it's pointless to keep bringing it up. I think that, you know, working him in a more of a hybrid role and helping the bullpen could be in play. I think you have Quinn Matthews ready to go. You have Hunter Dobbins already establishing himself as part of this rotation. So you have your choices there. The Cardinals do need to figure out what their rotation looks like for next season. And there are two big candidates right there in Dobbins and in Matthews.
Yeah, and some of the other guys. Now, the thing of it is, and you mentioned this to Chaim, one of our listeners did, we're not sure what 2027 is going to bring. I hate to be pessimistic, but I don't have a positive feeling about the owners and players avoiding a lengthy shutdown. So it kind of scrambles everything, because if it was a normal season, you could see some kids move up to AAA. Well, Tekoa Roby's a great example. The Cardinals are very, very excited about Tekoa Roby, and they should be. And Chaim Bloom said earlier this week, Tekoa Roby, who's recovering from Tommy John surgery, he's very close to pitching again. He's going to start throwing the hitters, and then they'll probably, put him on rehab assignments. Tekoa Roby is a major talent potentially. He's a guy that, for example, could easily win a job in your 2027 rotation, but we don't know if there's going to be a 2027 rotation. But my point is, we could go through a long list of names, and you know who they are, so there's no reason for me to kind of scramble to try to remember them all. But they're going to have very soon, relatively speaking, they're going to have 6-7 starting pitcher candidates that are going to be ready for the big leagues in 27 and 28. So, to your point, and, what I would do right now is move him to the bullpen because Libby had an attacking mindset as a reliever. He was aggressive. He knew it was a short burst. He knew his job was to get 3 outs, maybe 4 or 5 outs, and he would just empty it. He'd empty the bucket. He's not thinking ahead to all right, I'm going to have to pitch to this guy in the 5th inning, so I better show him this now. He just went out there and attacked people, and he was really, really good at that. That's his mindset. That's his mentality. That's what I think he's meant to do. With all due respect, I sincerely believe that.
Well, and I think that could help him on his way in his career to however that journey goes from here on out. There's no doubt about it. Michael McGreevy will start today. It's a 1:15 start. The Cardinals and the Colorado Rockies. So Jordan Walker's back in the lineup, so that's good. He responded well. He hit an absolute bomb. I mean, that was good to see Jordan hit that one yesterday. He's in the lineup batting 4th today. Bernie Miklasz batted in the final spot in our lineup today, but a big one before Cardinal baseball on KMOX, and we appreciate you.
Well, love being with you, Tom Ackerman, every Sunday. Look forward to it every week. We'll talk to you Tuesday on the Gas House Gang.
Oh, it's going to be a good one, too. Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol, and you never know what else could happen on that show. That one's been interesting over the last few weeks. We love having him. We love having Bernie, and we appreciate having all of you listening on the show. Coming up, Joe Pott from Busch Stadium as he gets ready to bring you pregame Cardinals and Rockies. Thanks to Gibson Davis and Kyle Davis for sitting in with us today. For our producer, Drew Young, I'm Tom Ackerman. This has been Sports on a Sunday Morning on KMOX. I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are talking to Dr.